Приветствую, господа. У нас осталось незаконченное дело с особняком Малкавиан.
Hey, stop right there.
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated.
Ничего себе романтика сумасшедшего дома. Внимательно сформирует трассу на проект времени. Ясненько. Это было почти рандомно.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear.
Ничего себе, как это Фрейда выглядит.
Hey, stop right there.
Вполне себе милый и безобидный господа. Это, в смысле, дизайн интерьеров такой. Лестница прямиком в потолок. Неудивительно, что они тут все с ума посходили.
Freeze!
Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess in there. My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence.
То есть мне отсюда нужно вытащить какого-то загнивающего психиатра. Я тянул просто какого-нибудь первокурсника психологического факультета. Смотрите. Результат такой же. Зато волокиты меньше. Их ржач. Погляди, я сова, посмотри, как я могу. По идее, их, конечно, можно не убивать, так пройти.
After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
ребят, я избавлю вас от голосов в голове, от головной боли, да и от головы в принципе.
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old, or poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter. For I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too.
Хаос, порядок, время. Насколько я помню, у меня еще была куча неосмотренных дверей. Понятно. Двери-то, может, не осмотрены. Закрыто. это вот как раз та дверь, в которую я слился. Которая была закрыта. Так, стоп, я еще где-то что-то не досмотрел. Кажется, это дверь. Нет. Ладно, пора валить, пока абсолютно не потерялся. Наверх вроде ничего не было. Время сворачивать голову, сами себя не свернут. Неужели меня заметили?
As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of the illness or theirs, for the voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves true predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation.
Похож вполне себе на Масquerade. обратил внимание, что это переход на другую локацию. Так, ну, поживи пока. Да, у меня еще же морозилка с кровякой, которая ждет и не дождется. Я точно зашел.
Hey, hold it! Huh? Freeze!
Эх, а я хотел устроить фокус с совой.
Hey, thank you.
Щедрые ребята, делятся до последнего.
The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices.
Типа такой же ясновидящий, как это тетенька на пляже, что ли? Или просто псих?
I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. Her cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities. The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this.
Ты ушел, что ли? Неплохо сохранилось. Переходов по локациям уже настолько много. Где-то внизу еще там была в палаты дверь. Вот это вообще. Наверное, вот это есть переход. Вниз. Ночи идут с другой. Он пробовал вкус крови. Комната с перевернутой архитектурой, да что ж. Вот это реальный челлендж, она немного дезориентирует. Ничего себе. Никак. Или это мавзолей у жены? Это бывшие работники клиники или что? И вообще, что они хотели от меня? Так, туда я пришел. Кажется. Не очень дружелюбная местечко с манекенами. Нет, все под Масquerade просят. Часы были под этой... под колпаком стеклянным. Привет, пацаны. Дай пятюню. Оп. И тебе. Видимо, мне придется собрать все эти предметы. И вам тоже, ребят. Вы либо из НСДАП, либо ищите парня вот такого роста. Нормально. Теперь туда. Так. Наверное. Провожать не стоило. Опять телефон. Здесь.
Stop doing that. Mother shan't be too pleased. None too pleased.
Так, тут часовня. Здесь какие-то. Да. Наверх выход. Видимо, и вниз придется тоже спуститься, что-нибудь там поискать в комнате. А путь не близкий, да? Я не хочу. Скажите, что мне часов хватит. Так, часы. Ага. Ладно, пусть она там пока круги нарезает. Прогуляемся куда-нибудь, да? Сожжение на свету.
Crowds, lay low and be cleansed by the flames! Count is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. plummet. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord.
Это еще кто такой?
Tell them it was Grünfeld Bach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
РПЦшник, что ли? Тебя тут только не хватало. Ничего себе припекло. Ну ладно, убедили. Так, если можно пожрать, пока ты горишь. Ладно. Тогда давай через соломинку. Избавиться. Было приятно поболтать. Валим. Валим.
Evening there. Something burning? Ooh, smells like someone burnt the burgers. Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double-spaced burgers. The onions, and the cheese, and some bacon, and the guacamole. Ooh.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him. Grout's dead. What? Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bach killed Grout to draw me out. Bach is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout? Let you finish. With whom do you presume you're speaking? Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead? Do you really have any idea? I'm glad you find this so amusing. I don't. And do you know why? It means... Under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. This also is very important, so I need to call upon your skill once more. The Ankaran sarcophagus was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago. I would like you to bring it back here for safekeeping. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours. Yes, of course. Here. I can't have one of my representatives running around ill-equipped for their task. Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill. There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason. Excuse me.
Так, какие-то квесты еще были. Задание толстого Ларри было бы вообще, кстати. Он говорит, что мне нужны какой-то автостоянки рядом. Не знаю, о какой стоянке речь. Отмеченная парковка. Есть. А по идее это боевая зона, поэтому можно развлекаться по поводу. Насколько я помню, мне нужно выиграть чемодан номер 1.
Too quiet. I don't like this place at night. It seems haunted. Don't you feel like something's here? Like we're being watched? No. The hairs on the back of my neck are sticking up. I swear there's something here. It's like, what's the word? Nervous? No, it's forget it. Don't go telling Johnny I was nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm annoyed. Dick.
Это прям путешествие сэра Леминвингса по кишкам каким-то в течение получаса.
Hey, who's there?
Плохо дело. Надо бы еще куда двигать. Ё-моё, там просто... Чё не так? Да, и здесь кто-то есть. Черт. Ладно. Еще 5 минут неплохой музыки не помешает.
Alright, so check this out. Uncle Shot, yo, first one, see how that's about to work on. Yo, check it. What's my bad? Cooper, welcome to the show for the place. It'll give you stuff. Come on,
Перевод, кстати, фильм «Трудная мишень», «Тяжелая мишень».
Too quiet. I don't like this place at night. It seems haunted. Don't you feel like something's here? Like we're being watched? No. Hairs on the back of my neck sticking up. I swear there's something here. It's like, what's the word? Nervous? No, it's okay. Don't go telling Johnny I was nervous. I'm not nervous. Annoyed. Sick.
Да, И дай им бог, мне нужно будет проделать весь этот путь обратно. Так, дружище. Третий уровень парковки, эта штука что вообще прямиком в ад ходит?
Take so long. No, that's not what last time I went down there, you got behind a car and pissed yourself. That was what? Oh yeah, right. You got shot and you didn't know about it. That's big shot better. Yeah, man. I don't know how you stuff with you.
Мне начинает казаться, что я нарезаю круги. А это не тот придурок с самого начала, нет? Который именно упырь. Нокс или как его там. Соряныч, ребят. Да, я, видимо, не могу. Есть? Да, если я смотрю. Ладно. Это почти все. Я видел этого чувака во время тревоги с чемоданом. Я вижу. Где-то вот.
Any second now, either slip you removed, I'm going to need shooting. Never know what if. Think they'll try something? Let's hope so.
Я правильно понимаю, или они сейчас пристреляют друг друга? А я спокойно в это время сделаю ноги. Это не просто... А, вот с этим чемоданом.
What if they want to see what's in the case? If they do, drop it by accident and duck.
Развлекайтесь как угодно, а я ножки. Может быть, еще патрон выбирать. Почему нет? Судя по всему, на этаже уже много осталось. Давай, будь умницей, пристрели его и все. Разойдемся. Я надеюсь, это какие-то интересные чемоданы. По звуку сверху ребята есть, да? Да. Да, это был лучший стелс. Никто не запалит, если никого не останется. Третий или какой-то там четвертый Хитман учил нас абсолютно этому же.
Baby girl! Outstanding! Pass it in, girl. Yeah, that's beautiful. Everything looks in order. Somebody somewhere got to be pissed off by losing this. Too bad I sent my main girl here after him. All right. Let me peel off a few bills for you. I'll just drop this off to the new owner in the morning. Then I'm gonna get me a big old steak. Not that domestic stuff neither. I'm gonna order up 32 ounces of Kobe beef, the expensive shit. You wanna come? My treat. Baby girl, you know I got what you need.
Нет, у тебя нет. Что? Зато... Дисплейте есть. Интересно, артефакты есть тут, если их как бы не надеть? Если они не вставляются. Надеюсь, что да. Так. Так, или иначе в музей. А где вот музей? Не здесь же, в конце концов, этот музей должен быть. А чё? Здесь? Нет, он говорит, что нет. Хороший вопрос, а в этом ли районе вообще? Мерзкое логово. Впечатление, что музей должен быть здесь где-нибудь в прибрежном районе. Или я ошибаюсь? кстати, отдельные локации. Вот. Погнали отсюда. Да, музей. Ожидаемо. Так, а есть хоть вариант сказать, что я ценитель выставок там? Видите? Флаг конфедерации нравится, что ли, тут? Мамкин мятежник. Еще хоть частично где и куда мне нужно. Да, потаскаться здесь придется знатно. Интересует хранилище экспонатов или что-то такое? Или подготовка экспонатов? Какое служебное помещение? Судя по всему, на первом этаже. люблю Гейба. Да, чувак, я тоже люблю Гейба. Зачетный пароль. Прокатит. Так, статуэтка на столе, которая шевелилась. Вот это мне и нужна. Где же ты? Так, давай ты, мужик, поскучаешь немного.
Hey, hold it!
Последний ключ нашел. Кабинет музей, подвал музей. О, вот что мне нужно. Рядом кто-то есть, но где? Противозачаточно. В музейный экспонат точно не залетишь. Зачем они? А вот тут сейчас самое интересное, похоже.
Hey, hold it! Hey, stop right there. Freeze!
Да я на вас всю кровь потрачу. Да, подожди. Я почту читаю, не отвлекай. Ладно. Где черт статуэтка? Нет, тут нет. Ох, ё-моё. Ладно.
Hey, stop right there. Hey, stop right there.
А сейчас-то куда? Мне еще и каким-то чудом нужна карточка. Черт.
You can't hide from me. Hey, stop right there.
Дела с саркофагом. Вот черт. Нет,
I can't understand why someone would go through the trouble of stealing a box with a very ancient corpse. This city's not that dull.
Узи, ты шаришь.
Since it's missing, I'm inclined to believe it was stolen, or intentionally misplaced, if you like. Clearly, though, it's not here. I'm an archaeologist, so I thought I'd indulge in a quick study of this Ankaran sarcophagus everyone's so riled up about. My guess, from what I've read about it, is that it's a mummified Mesopotamian king. I needed confirmation. Oh, I really wish I had. All this speculation about the sarcophagus containing an antediluvian and being a portent of Gehenna is making me cringe. These are the kinds of ridiculous, superstitious assumptions I came here to debunk. No one I know has ever met one, but each of the clans and their bloodlines supposedly trace their origin to an original vampire, an antediluvian. Some swear these grandsires still exist into the present, but then kindred and kind believe a lot of strange things. Armageddon, doomsday, the end of all kindred. It's a common facet of most mythologies. Fear that the world will end. Many believe Cain and the antediluvians will return to consume or destroy all kindred. I wholeheartedly disagree. As I said, many cultures have the fear of some form of apocalypse. Kindred believed in these stories when they were human, and naturally carried them over into kindred myth. But it doesn't take a supernatural act to cause widespread destruction. Humans and kindred are just as capable of managing their own destruction as a deity. A self-realized Gehenna warrants more vigilance than a god-induced one, don't you agree? Such is my argument, which so frequently falls on deaf ears. Thin-bloods rarely exhibit features or powers of their clan, and many can't embrace. Some are even rumored to have reproduced. Many kindred are terrified that their weak blood heralds the dissipation of every bloodline. Somewhat of an ignorant reactionary response, don't you think? Cain is the biblical first kindred and founder of the mythological first city, Enoch, a place where kindred and kind coexisted. I believe Cain's a figure concocted to personify the transition from nomadic society to agrarian society. That myth, like most, has been twisted by time. What prophecy doesn't have vague apocryphal signs? Let's see. The usual ones cited are the appearance. For 300 years I've been trying to determine the function of our existence, the kindred's role in the world. I'm not content to attribute it to some act of supernatural biblical vengeance. We exist for a reason, and if it takes another 300, I'll figure it out. Any thoughts? Yes, I've heard that theory before. It certainly seems plausible, but there's little proof to support it. Still, it's a better explanation than a divine sentence for manslaughter. Remember, the truth won't be told in time. It will be told by us. Well, my work here is stolen away into the night. Think I'll do the same.
Без статуэтки остался. Печально. Где же можно его искать тогда? Ну ладно, ничего страшного не произойдет, если допка повисит.
Oh, excuse me, starting to doze off there. Oh, I need to get a guard animal of some sort to alert me when folks come in. Maybe one of them chimps like on that show Ape Detective? Oh, that monkey always gets his man. What? Oh, yeah, Mr. LaCroix's expecting you. For a young guy, he sure likes to work late. Me, I spent most of my youth in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I guarded the sets for over 6 top 10 TV shows.
The folly of leadership is knowing that no matter what you do, behind your back there's hundreds, certain that their own solution is the sounder one, and that your decision was the byproduct of a whimsical dart toss. I pronounce the blast sentence, and I soak the critical fallout. I make the decisions no one else will. Leadership. I wear the albatross and a bullseye.
Ты, конечно, молодец, ты мой гений.
The blood hunt on Nines Rodriguez for the murder of Alistair Grout will be called. Rodriguez's execution is only a matter of time. I have lit the fuse. If a war ignites, it's my head they will sharpen the pikes for. Now to the matter of the sarcophagus. Do you need assistance bringing it up? Stolen? Stolen? How? Who would... Oh, Gary. Gary, you treasonous maggot. I should have anticipated your treachery, sewer rat.
Тонк, что ли?
The Nosferatu Primogen. The Nosferatu were responsible for finding out where the sarcophagus was taken after the Dane, and for getting keys to the museum. They were the only ones who knew. It's obvious to me now. My mistake. I want him found. I want him... found. The sarcophagus could be exploited, causing who knows what catastrophe to this city. If it were to fall into the wrong hands... The Nosferatu lurk in the filth below the streets of Hollywood, but not even I know just where they hide. Hollywood is, unfortunately, lacking in any Camarilla loyalties. Hollywood's baron is an anarch named Isaac. Isaac's more civil than the anarchs downtown, but nonetheless he wears his mistrust of me on his sleeve. He may know how to contact the Nosferatu. Find Gary and get him to talk. That sarcophagus could be used against us. Do not come back until you have it. Now, I must announce the blood hunt and bear the brunt of all consequences. Escort her out.
Ну блин. Чё ж так некультурно вы проводили? Так, Skyline Apartments. Надеюсь, я не ошибся. Надеюсь, речь про второй этаж.
Mr. Milton, you know who this is, and I do hope you realize that we're still on for tonight. Meet me at the agreed-upon location across from the bar by the underpass. Bring your associate, Mr. Durbin, as it is a two-man job that I am proposing. With any luck, the two of you are already on your way, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.
Против бара. Окей. И что-то мне подсказывает, что... Черт, какой этаж я нажал. Что-то мне подсказывает, что теперь нужно двигать через весь город в другую сторону. А, это детективное чутье. Вот бар. Ну вот, напротив бара. Ну, это пустой склад.
Did you see it? These two guys, the dead guy and the other, they showed up. I've been living here, so I hid. I thought maybe they was owners or cops come to clean the place out. The dead feller called him Muddy. They was waiting on someone. They were going to do some kind of job, they were saying. But the person they was meeting, well, he was late. So the one guy leaves to find the phone and call him, and the dead guy stayed. Oh, that's when the killer, that's when he showed up. 1 second he wasn't there, and then he was. Like out of the shadows he come up. Scared the shit out of the dead guy. I'd like to scream, but I couldn't breathe. Oh, that killer, he grew these claws. I swear it, I saw it. The dead guy went white like he seen the devil, and then the killer grabbed him round the neck and lifted him up and started cursing at the guy. Oh, I couldn't hear too good. Something about revenge for what he did or what they did. The killer made sure the dead guy knew who he was and then ripped him open. Just tore him apart. He did it real slow and made the guy scream. Okay, I will. I don't want to never think about that again.
Маскарад убит, конечно, куча, а что с человечностью это делать? Но это, наверное, где-то уже в Голливуде. Потому что Лаки Старов я что-то не припомню. Где твой любимый извозчик?
Need a ride?
Ну, Голливуд так Голливуд.
Ain't seen you here before. And if I haven't seen you, neither has Isaac. So that's your next stop. Isaac's in the jewelry store at the end of the street. Consider yourself invited.
Молодой человек пригласил к себе. Так, это, конечно, очень хорошо насчет конца улицы, но какой из этих трех концов улицы ты имел в виду, черт возьми? Лаки Стар? Отель. Лаки Стар. Отель. Оно.
Sorry, no vacancies. Feel free, babe. This is a treasure trove of human banality. Working here, you meet lots of types of man. You get stories, you get characters, you know. This kind of place where writers go to study human behavior, man. It's invaluable. Writer's such a tarnished term, you know what I mean? It's like every other guy says he's a writer, right? Like, you write a letter, you're a writer, you know? It's like, what I do, that's screenwriting. Like, I encapsulate the essence of excellent film in my scripts, all right? Like, I'm like a blacksmith with pens, all right? I'm a welder of montage. Does a writer write, or does he just, like, ink the flotsam and jetsam floating in his subconscious into a 120-page piece of film genius? But, you know, most of my subconscious is filled with old horror films, so that's what I write mostly.
Ага, я знаю, кто писал диалоги к этой игре. Вот этот чувак.
Me? I'm like looking to redefine the vampire movie, okay? Like, tons of people make vampire flicks, like popular characters, but me, I'm gonna be doing the real deal. Like, not only is it gonna be scary, but it's gonna be believable.
Я надеюсь, он «Сумерки» не написал.
Well, in my story, it's not like about garlic and bats, okay? It's about vampire societies and stuff. You know, like, what would vampires be really all about? I mean, how do they blend into society without being discovered?
Как там называется? Реальные упыри?
Night eating you?
I'm Roger.
Okay, and what do you do, Roger?
I'm a writer, Deb.
So, have you written any movies I might have seen?
Well, I actually haven't finished any screenplays yet.
So, if you haven't really written anything, how can you call yourself a writer? Because I once fixed my toilet.
God! My work is done.
Это мне напомнило сцену из этого. Скотт Пилигрим против всех. Так, ну чувак, вымер, вот он. А мне ничего с этого. Мне это, к сожалению, абсолютно ничего не дает. Подозреваем, убили. Окей.
Night eating you? Already? Man, that's early for tonight. Oh well, I'll call the cops, but who knows when they'll show up to protect and serve, right?
Такое себе обслуживание номеров. Приедет полицейский, а там уже покрывало какой-то смешной форме завернутого уборщицы.
I could have swore I told you to see the Baron. Yeah, that was a laugh. Except my sense of humor is a little askew, you know? Conflict just cracks me the hell up.
Слушай, поводырь, ты не мог бы меня к нему проводить? Ну, вот вроде. Ювелир.
Good evening, Neonate. Isaac Abrams. I've been expecting you. Seems the wooden soldiers of the Camarilla shuffle in a little too often these nights. That baby-faced two-bit Prince LaCroix got something to say to me? Very courteous of you to stop by. All kindred that enter my domain are expected to introduce themselves. It may seem like an outdated formality, but it serves its purpose. It gives me the opportunity to personally welcome visitors to my domain. It also helps to establish an understanding in advance, so that there are no unfortunate accidents while they are in town. Call me old-fashioned, but this is my barony, and as is tradition, a token of respect must be paid. What I want is a simple exchange. Last week I paid for a certain item, a movie, and this evening I got an email saying that the seller is ready to deliver it. Unfortunately, he's become a bit paranoid all of a sudden. Won't meet me in person, won't drop it off, won't even answer his phone. Says he'll send the location of the pickup to a computer in the nearby internet cafe tonight. You see where I'm going with this?
Чувак, ты слишком старомоден. Пора научиться пользоваться имейлом.
Speaking of paranoia, no. Simple pickups, all that's involved. Go to the Ground Zero Internet Cafe. Look for a directory named Joseph K. and use the password Kafka. There'll be an email in there that will specify a nearby location. Meet the contact, pick up the item, come back. Not too painful, right? There'll be plenty of time for questions later. I'll explain everything when you get back. Excellent. In the meantime, consider yourself a welcome guest in my barony. Welcome to Hollywood.
думаю, стоит оставить интересное на следующую серию. И начать с нуля, и изучать Голливуд.